As promised, we're picking up right where we left off at the end of episode 29, starting episode 30 with La Bambas by Los Lobos off of that motion picture soundtrack of La Bamba. And here we have the vinyl for you. Slash. What a cool logo with it bleeding. I kind of like that. That's kind of neat. But there's La Bamba, and the back side of that was a song called Charlena. Alright, I haven't watched that movie in forever, but I did see it back in the day when it came out. Just been a long time. I think I've mixed it up a little bit with the On the Dark Side one. But anyways, here we've got Lovin' Spoonful. Did you ever have to make up your mind? Pick up on one and leave the other behind. And I didn't want to do it on the B-side. And next up we've got another Lovin' Spoonful one. And this one is Summer in the City. Hot time, summer in the city. Back of my neck getting sweaty and gritty. Something like that. I don't know the lyrics well, but I know the tune. And the B-side is Butchie's Tune. And I don't know that tune. Written by S. Boone for the 11 Spoonfuls. A lot of rhyming going on there. Alright, this one's an interesting one. This one's pretty cool. I do have a number of Leonard Skinnards, mostly in the mix boxes. There's only 2 here. I'm surprised. I thought I had more earlier on. But this is Freebird from One More from the Road, 1976, recorded at the fabulous Fox Theater, Atlanta, Georgia, July 1976. So, having a little hard time reading that there because it's that dang silver on black. But this is the live version, and it's only 4 minutes and 55 seconds long. So they have definitely edited that one down. That would be an exclusive 45 edit. I am certain it was not under 5 minutes on the One More from the Road album. No way. But the B-side is Searchin', and again, it is from that same album, same recording date and all of that. So try and get it there where you can see it. That silver on black was one of the worst decisions ever made in the 45 RPM vinyl records industry, in my opinion. And so next up here we've got Give Me Back My Bullets. And this is the album version straight off of the Give Me Back My Bullets album. Try and get it a little bit better there so you can see it. Nice looking vinyl though, huh? And the B-side of this one is All I Can Do Is Write About It. You can hardly see if you can make that out. All I Can Do Is Write About It. But it also came off of the Give Me Back My Bullets album. Okay, now we've got another big jump in time from the 70s to the 80s in Madness, Our House. Not a band I could say that I ever really got into at all, but I really like this song. Our house in the middle of the street, our house. It's kind of a fun, happy, upbeat song, and you know, there was a lot of junk come out in the 80s, especially in my opinion. But this was a good song, and I did like this song a lot. So one of the few songs that come on the radio in the 80s that I would actually appreciate and enjoy. It's part of the reason why I have such a huge library of music and film, is because, you know, I want to watch when I want to watch, when I want to watch it, and I want to hear when I want to hear, when I want to hear it. And we didn't have a rock and roll station for a long time in the town that I grew up in. We had a country, a rock, and a gospel station. And when disco came in, the rock station switched over to disco, and I was living at the record store because I didn't want to hear anything that I could hear on the radio, unless I got lucky enough to pick up, you know, Cat out of Oklahoma City, or one of the cool stations out of Texas. I had a friend who claimed he could pick up the X. You know, he had a huge antenna. I never could. I couldn't get it. You know, ZZ Top's famous "Heard It on the X." That was a real thing. That's not just a made up story. But anyways, B-side of this Madness vinyl is a song called "Cardiac Arrest," which I don't know. I probably throw that on sometime, but I like Our House. That's a good song. I liked Our House by Graham Nash too, Crosby, Stills and Nash. Same title, completely different song. Wonderful song by Graham Nash, who was my favorite of the four members of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I definitely like Graham Nash the best. Stephen Stills would be a close second. But anyways, moving on here, we got the Mamas and the Papas and Somebody Groovy, and I know I got that backwards. That was the B-side, and here we've got California Dreaming on a Winter's Day. Always makes me think of Congo anymore for some reason, you know, the people carrying all their backpacks and stuff up into the mountains started singing that. All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. And here we've got Manfred Mann doing do-a-dee-dee-dee-dee-dum-dee-dee-do. Whoa! And it's Manfred Mann, not the Earth Band, just Manfred Mann. He was Manfred Mann to begin with, and then added the Earth Band years later. B-side of this being What You Gonna Do? I'm not sure. I might know that song. I'm not going to take a chance at it and get it all wrong. There's so many duplicated song titles, it's real easy to do something like that. But here we've got Manfred Mann's Earth Band for you. And probably their biggest or most well-known song, one that you still hear on the radio from time to time, and that's Blinded by the Light. Written by one of my least favorite people, Bruce Springsteen. Sorry about that. I try really not to get negative on this channel. Try to keep it a happy place for everybody. But the original recorded version of Blinded by the Light by Bruce is just awful. Just awful. And this one is so great. I love that song. Even though some of the lyrics don't make any sense at all, it's still a really good tune. And the B-side of this is another Bruce Springsteen composition, Spirit in the Night, which I don't recognize by the title, and was not even aware that Manfred Mann's Earth Band did more than one Bruce Springsteen song, but clearly they did, because there it is right there. All right, so moving on from Manfred Mann, we've made it up to Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be in my show. And we've got to get it on again. Got to get it on. So that's taking you back to 1976. If you're around. Now here's a price tag, Gibsons. Hadn't thought about Gibsons in a long, long time. I'm not sure if they had them around the place that I'm living now, but I do believe we had one where I grew up. But I don't even remember when they all closed up, or if there are even still any around. But I do remember Gibsons, now that I see the price tag and the little bulb comes on in the back of my head. This being Teen Angel, and I meant to look this one up before I did the filming when I was de-sleeving. I'm not sure if this is the original. Mark Denning, Teen Angel, Teen Angel. I seem to remember that being done by one of those, 50s heartthrob people, but maybe it's a one-hit wonder. Maybe Mark Denning did it originally. I just really don't know for sure. The B-side is Bye Now, Baby. But somebody out there that does know or wants to make a comment, please feel free to comment down in the comment section. I love to have some interaction with the viewers of the channel. I've learned a lot of things from some people making comments. I don't take any offense if I got something wrong. These are completely unscripted commentaries that I'm making. The main point is to show you the vinyls, show you the sleeves, talk a little bit about stuff, but I'm not putting a ton of effort into writing the script and getting everything down before I do this. The commentary is just a running commentary. That's what it is. So yeah, feel free to do any corrections or add any information you want to down in the comment section. I will read it, I guarantee you. Right, so the McCoys, hang on, Sloopy, Sloopy, hang on. And, you want to say Snoopy, but it's Sloopy, not Snoopy. And I can't explain it, being the B-side on that. Well, yeah, I can't explain why it's Sloopy and not Snoopy. Hang on, Snoopy, Snoopy, hang on. Woodstock's around the corner. Meatloaf, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. So I'm sure you know that one. That was a really big hit from him. Bad Out of Hell was definitely his most popular, biggest album. Produced by Todd Rundgren, which is interesting. And mostly written by him and Jim Steinman. The B-side being a song called For Crying Out Loud. And I did think I had another Meatloaf, but it must have been from a mixed box because it's not here in this box. So moving on, we've got an interesting one to talk about here. And it's, well, no, the next one's the interesting one. But this one's, a good one too. Down Under by Men at Work. Do you come from a land down under? Australia. And the B-side being a song called Crazy. But the one I was wanting to actually say something about, that I was going to make my comments on, is this one here. Who Can It Be Now? By Men at Work, 1981, off of Business as Usual, which was, their biggest, most popular album, their first album. And the B-side of this being a song called Anyone for Tennis. And you might know, if you're a big Cream fan or an Eric Clapton fan, you might know the song Anyone for Tennis that they did. Eric Clapton actually wrote it for a movie soundtrack, not specifically for the Cream album. But this is a completely different song. This is an instrumental song. It has nothing to do with Cream's song whatsoever, which is weird because a title like Anyone for Tennis, you would think that would be rather unique, not something that people would keep pulling out of their hat. But yeah, here it is, Men at Work, Anyone for Tennis, and it's not a cover of the Cream song. And I guess this is only the third song that's credited to all 5 members of Men at Work. And then I did have a second copy, but as near as I can tell, it is identical to the other one. It even got the same kind of price tag on there. So, hope you enjoyed episode 30, and I hope you come back for more, because we've still got plenty more to show you. Do 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 do.